Hello students, welcome to CET Sankalp classes. So today we are going to discuss with the next chapter, that is waves. In this waves, we are going to discuss about the types of waves, on what basis we are going to divide the waves, and here we have numericals based on the wave equation, right? So Doppler effect is there. Then next we deal with the different types of waves and all. So before going for the MCQs, we will see some synopsis based on this topic. First, let us know what do you mean by wave here. A wave is a disturbance which propagates energy and momentum, from one place to the other without the movement of the matter or the particle. That is called as a wave here. So wave is what, for example, if you assume that is a water in a container which is at rest, when you throw any solid substance into that, here what happens, the disturbance in the medium creates, the disturbance in the medium occurs. So whatever the disturbance in the medium is there, it will propagate or it will transmit energy and momentum from one place to the other without the transport of matter. That is called as what, wave here. Only energy and momentum is transferred, not the particle or the matter. Okay, so what are the necessity properties for the wave propagation or the wave motion here? Let us see. The particle must be having elasticity property, and it should be have the property of inertia. See, first one, that is elasticity. What is the use of the elasticity of the nature of the material here? Here, if the material or the medium is elastic, the particles can return to their mean position after having been disturbed. So as the particles are disturbed, then the wave is generated. The particles will come to the mean position when there is a elastic nature, in the medium. Okay, next property, inertia. So that here particles can store energy and overshoot their mean position. That is called as what, inertia here. Next, third property is, it is minimum friction among the particles of the medium. There should be a minimum friction. The friction should not be more here between the particles. That is called as what, minimum friction among the particles of the medium. Then next property is uniform density of the medium. So uniform density should be there for the medium, for the given medium. Then we can say that the wave property or wave propagation is easy in a given medium. The next we have the types of waves. In types of waves, the first one is mechanical wave. What do you mean by mechanical wave here? Mechanical wave is nothing but, that is, the waves which require medium for its propagation are called as what, mechanical waves. Then what is non-mechanical wave here? Non-mechanical wave is nothing but the waves which do not require medium for their propagation are called as non-mechanical or electromagnetic waves, are called as non-mechanical or electromagnetic waves. Okay, so mechanical, which require medium for its propagation, non-mechanical, which does not require medium for its propagation. So mechanical wave example we can consider, sound wave are the mechanical waves, water waves are the mechanical waves here. Non-mechanical wave we can consider the examples like light, heat, radio waves, gamma rays, X-rays are the example for what, non-mechanical waves. Next. So next, that is transverse waves here. So based on the medium, we divide the waves as two, that is mechanical and non-mechanical. Next, based on the motion, based on the propagation of the waves, we can divide it again into two types, that is transverse waves and the longitudinal waves. What do you mean by transverse wave here? Particles of the medium execute simple harmonic motion about their mean position in a direction which is perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Here what happens in case of transverse wave, wave motion and the particle motion are perpendicular to each other, then it is called as what, transverse waves. So example for transverse wave, it is, that is, it travels from crust to trough, that is called as what, transverse waves. Next we have longitudinal waves. Longitudinal waves. Next, longitudinal waves. Here what happens, the particles of the medium execute simple harmonic motion about their mean position in a direction that is parallel to the direction of the propagation. Here in case of longitudinal waves, that is the particle motion and the wave motion are parallel to each other. Here by mistake it is written as perpendicular. So ignore that. Here it is parallel. Okay. Next. So velocity of sound is given by so here the velocity of the sound is given by, on a stretched string, it is given by V is equal to under root of T divided by M, where T is the tension in the string, M is the linear density of, that is linear density. This linear density is nothing but what? Mass per unit length. So mass per unit length, we take it as linear density. Next, so this is what speed of velocity of sound on a stretched string. Next, we have velocity of sound in a elastic medium. So in elastic medium, the expression is given by V is equal to under root of E divided by rho. E is what? Elasticity of the medium, and rho is the density of the medium. Next, here we have some points here, like as solids are most elastic while gases are least elastic. Therefore, we take it as, so in MCQs, these concept may help you. ES, that is elasticity of solid, is greater than liquid, is greater than gases. So the velocity of sound is maximum in solids and minimum in gases. So here what happens, the velocity of sound is maximum in solids and minimum in gases. Okay. Next. So next we have Newton's formula. So what is Newton's formula? Here in case of Newton's formula, we take that. Okay, next. Newton's formula is there. So here in Newton's formula, it is a modified form of Laplace formula. He assumed that when a sound propagates through air, temperature remains constant. Therefore, we take that the speed of sound in air as root of k divided by rho, which is equal to root of p by rho, where k is equal to E naught is equal to p here. So E naught is what? Isothermal elasticity. So E naught is considered as isothermal elasticity, and p is what? Pressure. Okay. So by the calculation, by the standard values, by the substitution of the values, here the speed of sound in air is given by 279 meter per second. 279 meter per second. However, we know that is the speed of sound in air is what? 332 meter per second. So here the values are not matching with the Newton's formula. Therefore, for Newton's formula, Laplace will give the correction. Therefore, it is called as what? Laplace correction. Okay. So Laplace will modify Newton's formula, assuming that propagation of sound in air as adiabatic process. So we know three processes: isothermal process, adiabatic process. So we know isobaric process, isochoric process. So many processes are there in thermodynamics. In that, based on the adiabatic process, here we consider that velocity of sound in air is given by root of k by rho. Here he will take, instead of E naught, he will take E pi, that is what? Adiabatic elasticity. So here again, if you substitute the values and simplify it, you will get the value as what? 331 meter per second, which is nearly equal to 332. Therefore, so this equation we consider to calculate the velocity of sound in air, because this relation will give the nearby value for the velocity of sound in air. Okay. Next. So next we have the effect of density. What is the effect of density here? The effect of density, again we can modify the equation as V is equal to root of rho p gamma p divided by rho. Here we can see that is your velocity is inversely proportional to square root of the density. So what is the effect of density on speed here? It is inversely proportional to square root. So this relation will help you to understand the numericals. Next, what is the effect of pressure? So pressure is, you can see the equation here, V is equal to root of gamma p divided by rho. Therefore, we can write it as, under root of gamma RT divided by M. Okay. So here we can substitute, that is PV PV is equal to RT. Therefore, you can also substitute density is equal to mass per unit volume. Volume will get cancelled. So all the simplification we did, and we have written the equation for speed of air in speed of sound in air. It is as root of gamma RT divided by m. So velocity of sound is independent of the pressure of gas provided the temperature remains constant. Okay. So what is effect of temperature here? So effect of temperature V is equal to root of gamma RT divided by m. Therefore, we can write it as V is proportional to root of T. V is proportional to root of T here. So when the temperature change is small, then Vt is equal to V naught into bracket 1 plus alpha, where V naught is the velocity of sound at 0 degrees Celsius and Vt is what? Velocity of sound at T degree Celsius, and alpha is what? Coefficient of velocity of sound. Okay. So value of alpha, it is a standard value, that is 0.61. Approximately we take it as 0.61 meter per second per degree Celsius. In case of effect of temperature, we can say that the velocity is directly proportional to what? Root of temperature. Okay. So when the temperature change is small, then we can see these all equations. Therefore, here based on that, next we have the effect of humidity here. So what is the effect of humidity? We can see with increase in the humidity, density of air decreases. So with rise in humidity, velocity of sound increases. This is why sound travels faster in humid air than in dry air at the same temperature. So here what happens? It increases. Density of air decreases. So with the rise in humidity, velocity also increases. It is directly proportional. Next, what is the relation between velocity and root mean square velocity here? Here also you can see that the velocity of sound is equal to under root of gamma RT divided by m, and V RMS is equal to under root of 3 RT divided by m. Therefore, we can write it as V RMS divided by V sound is equal to, if you take the ratio, you will get it as root of 3 by gamma, or you can also write it as V sound is equal to, that is velocity of sound in air is equal to gamma by 3 to the power of 1 by 2, or under root of gamma by 3 into VRMS. Okay. There is no atmosphere on moon. Therefore, the propagation of sound is not possible. So as we know that sound is a mechanical wave which require medium for its propagation. To do conversion on moon, the astronaut uses an instrument which can transmit and detect electromagnetic waves here. Okay, so we have discussed the effect of different effects on the sound, and next we discussed about the characteristics, and next we discussed about the types of waves. Then again we have some other types of waves based on its propagation. See, that is progressive wave. These waves propagate in the forward direction of medium with a finite velocity. So here what happens? That is, the waves propagate in the forward direction of medium with a finite velocity is called as progressive waves. Here what happens? Energy and momentum are transmitted in the direction of propagation of waves without the actual transmission of matter. Here what happens? Energy and momentum are transmitted in the direction of propagation of waves without the actual transmission of waves. Matter is called as progressive wave. In case of progressive waves, equal changes in pressure and density occurs. Okay. One thing is it travels with a finite velocity. Only energy and momentum is transmitted. And next here what happens? Equal changes in pressure and density occurs in case of progressive waves. Next we have the principle of superposition. So as we know that principle of superposition, it is nothing but what? It is nothing but the resultant. Okay, so here what happens? The displacement at any time, the displacement at any time due to any number of waves meeting simultaneously at a point in a medium is the vector sum of the individual displacements due each one of the waves at that point at the same time is what? Principle of superposition. If y1, y2, y3 are the displacements at a particular time at a particular position due to individual waves, then the resultant displacement is given by y is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus and so on. So standing waves, just now we saw progressive wave. What is standing waves here? When a string is under tension, you can see in the picture, here the string is attached between two rigid support, is set into vibration. So when the string is set into vibration, it transfers harmonic waves which propagate along its length. When the length of string is fixed, reflected waves will also exist. The incident and the reflected waves will superimpose to produce transverse stationary waves in a string. Okay. So the first normal mode of vibration is given by N1 is equal to V divided by lambda 1, or we can also write it as V divided by 2L. Then again, we can rearrange the terms and again we can write it as N1 is equal to 1 by 2L root of T by M. So this mode of vibration is called what? Fundamental mode. So the first mode we take it as what? Fundamental mode, and the frequency is called as what? Fundamental frequency. The sound from the note so produced is called fundamental note or first harmonic. It is called as first harmonic. Okay. Next. So second normal mode of vibration. So first normal mode of vibration, the expression is N1 is equal to V by lambda 1 and N1 is equal to 1 by 2L root of T by M. Here, second mode, normal mode of vibration is given by N2 is equal to V by lambda 2, which is equal to V by L, which is equal to 2L by L. That is nothing but what? 2 into N1. Just to take it in terms of N1, we multiplied and divided by 2. Therefore, this is in the form of what? 2 into N1. So we can say that N2 is equal to 2N1. This is second harmonic or first overtone. So first one is called as what? First fundamental mode, and this is taken as second harmonic or first overtone. Then third mode is given by N2 is equal to V by lambda 3, which is equal to 3V by 2L, that is nothing but 3N1. This is third harmonic or second overtone. Okay. So position of notes, here we take it as X is equal to 0, that is first mode of vibration. Second mode of vibration is X equal to 0 and X equal to L by 2. Okay, third mode of vibration, that is X equal to 0, L by 3, 2L by 3 and L. These are what? Mode of vibration. Next. So this is node. Before this we discussed about the node. Now let us see antinodes here. So antinode, position of antinode is given by X is equal to L divided by 2N, comma 3L divided by 2N, comma 5L divided by 2 and so on up to 2 eta minus 1 into L divided by 2N. For first mode of vibration, X is equal to L divided by 2. Okay. Next, standing wave in a closed organ pipe. So standing wave in a closed organ pipe we are seeing. Organ pipes are the musical instrument. These are what? Musical instrument. Which are used for producing musical sound by blowing air into the pipe. So longitudinal stationary waves are formed on account of superposition or superimposition of incident and reflected longitudinal waves. So this is what regarding the closed organ pipe. So equation of standing wave is equal to y is equal to 2a cos 2 pi nu into t divided by lambda sine 2 pi x divided by lambda. Then the general formula for wavelength is given by what? In case of closed organ pipe, it is written as 4L divided by 2N minus 1. So the first normal mode of vibration, N1 is equal to V divided by 4 into L. This is called fundamental frequency, and the note so produced is called fundamental note or the first harmonic. Okay. So all the first mode, second mode, first overtone, second overtone, these all equations are important. Next, second normal mode of vibration is given by, in case of closed pipe, it is, that is N2 is equal to V divided by lambda 2 is equal to 3V by 4L, which is equal to 3 into N, which is equal to 3 into N. Next, this is called as what? Third harmonic or first overtone. Third normal mode of vibration is given by N3 is equal to 5V divided by 4 into L, which is equal to 5 into N1. This is called as fifth harmonic or second overtone. Okay. Then position of notes, that is x equal to 0, L by 2n minus 1, comma 4L by 2n minus 1, comma 6L by 2n minus 1. So on up to we can write it as 2n into L divided by 2n minus 1. So this is position of node. Down you can see here the position of anti-node formula is also written, that is x equal to, it starts from L by 2n minus 1, 3L by 2n minus 1, comma 5L by 2n minus 1, so on up to L here. Okay. Then here you can see first mode of vibration. In case of closed pipe, it is x equal to 0. Second mode of vibration, x equal to 0 and 2L by 3. Third mode of vibration is given by 0, 2L by 5 into, comma 4L by 5. This is in case of closed organ pipe. Then next, so this will be the last concept of this waves chapter, that is Doppler effect. So Doppler effect we study in sound. So what is Doppler effect here? This Doppler effect, it is one of the beautiful phenomena. Here you can observe it and you can feel it. See, whenever there is a relative motion between a source and the listener, the best example we take it as what? A person standing in a railway station. We consider that is when the source is what? The railway is coming towards you. You are a listener in a station. Okay, the apparent frequency of sound here by the listener is different from the actual frequency of sound emitted by the source. Here what happens when the train is coming towards you, you will observe or you will hear the different sound. When it is going away from you, the frequency will be different. So here this phenomena is called as what? Doppler effect. This phenomena is called as Doppler effect here. Here, when the distance between the source and the listener is decreasing, the apparent frequency increases. So this is important here. When the source and the listener, if the distance between them it is decreasing, then the apparent frequency increases. Okay, as the distance decreases, the frequency increases. It means that the apparent frequency is more than the actual frequency of sound. Then the reverse case is also true here, which means that as the distance increases, the frequency increases. So it is vice versa phenomena. Next, the general expression for this Doppler effect, it is given by apparent frequency N dash is equal to V plus nu M minus VL divided by V plus nu M minus Vs into N here. Here you can see the terms, it is explained. N is the actual frequency, VL is the velocity of the listener, Vs is the velocity of source, Vm is the velocity of medium, and V is the velocity of sound wave. Okay. Sign convention. So sign convention, which is very, very important here. All the velocities along the direction are taken as positive. It is taken as positive. And all the velocities along the direction of L to S are taken as negative. Source to listener is taken as positive. Listener to source is taken as negative. If the medium is stationary, means if the source is at stationary position, then Vm becomes 0. Therefore, the above equation can be written as N dash is equal to V nu minus nu L divided by V minus V nu S into N. The terms carries the usual meaning. Okay. Then next, last one, that is special cases here. Special cases in the sense, here we will consider when the source is moving towards the listener, but the listener is at rest. So based on our standard equation, there we need to substitute this. That is, if the listener is at rest, then his velocity becomes 0. Therefore, the equation becomes nu divided by v minus vs into n. Then next, if the source is moving away from the listener, but the listener is at rest, then the equation becomes v divided by v plus vs into n. If the source is at rest and the listener is moving away from the source, then the equation becomes v minus vl divided by v into n. Next case, if the source is at rest and the listener is moving towards the source, then it becomes v plus vl divided by v into n. When the source and the listener are approaching each other, then the final equation will be v plus vl divided by v minus vs into n. So this is the special cases here. So it is based on the sign convention. First, you need to understand the standard equation of Doppler effect. Then you need to understand the special cases and the sign convention. Okay. So this completes the synopsis parts. In the next class, we can go for the MCQs. Okay, students, thank you.
Hello students, welcome to CET Sankalp classes. In the last class, we discussed about the synopsis of waves chapter. Today, let us go for the MCQs. Okay, the first question is, a simple harmonic oscillator has an amplitude A and time period T. The time required by it to travel from x is equal to A to x is equal to A by 2 is. So when simple harmonic oscillator is there, it is having an amplitude of A and its time period is T. The time required by it to travel from x is equal to A to x is equal to A by 2 is. Here, what you need to do, as we know that the standard equation is given by. That is, it is x is equal to A cos omega t. So this is our standard equation, okay, at the extreme position. Here what they said, when x value is A divided by 2. So in the given equation, if I substitute x is equal to A by 2, then it is A by 2 is equal to A cos omega t. So A will get cancelled. So when A will get cancelled, you are left with what? 1 by 2 is equal to cos omega t, which implies you can also write it as omega t is equal to, so cos theta is equal to 1 by 2, therefore theta is equal to how much it is? It is pi divided by 3. Therefore I can also write it as t is equal to pi divided by omega into 3 or 3 into omega, right? Here we can substitute the value of omega. The value of omega we can write it as, since t is equal to 2 pi divided by omega, therefore small t is equal to, we can write it as pi divided by, see here, that is t is equal to what we have, pi divided by 3 into pi. Therefore it is t is equal to pi divided by 3 into omega. So omega can be written as 2 pi divided by capital T. Here what happens, this pi will get cancelled. 3 into 2 is 6. So this can be simplified and it can be written as t is equal to, we can get it as t divided by 6, correct? So that is option A is the correct option. Option A is the correct option here. Next. So next question is, a simple harmonic progressive wave. So it is a progressive wave. We have already discussed the properties of the progressive and the standing waves and all. Okay. A simple harmonic progressive wave is repeated by the equation y is equal to 8 sine 2 pi 0.1 into x minus 2t, where x and y are in centimeter and t is in seconds. At any instant, the phase difference between the two particles separated by 2 centimeter in the x direction is. So how we are going to simplify here? Again, we need to compare the given equation with the standard equation. So the standard equation is given by, that is, y is equal to a sine kx minus omega into t. A sine kx minus omega into t. Okay, so this is our standard equation. What is our given equation? That is, the given equation is y is equal to 8 sine 2 pi into bracket 0.1 into x minus 2t. So this is the given equation. So by comparing these two equations, by comparing the given equation, what we can write here? See here students, we can also simplify this equation. That is whatever 2 pi is there, no, we can multiply inside the bracket. Therefore, we can write it as y is equal to 8 sine 0.1 into 2, that is nothing but 0.2 into pi into x minus 4 pi into t, minus 4 pi into t. So now you can compare this given equation and the standard equation. So by comparing the given equation and standard equation, we can see here the value of k is, how much? It is 0.2 into x, 0.2 into, sorry, 0.2 into pi here, right? So 0.2 into pi is the value of k. Then here we know that the k value or the formula for k is given by, it is k is equal to 2 pi divided by lambda. Therefore, lambda is equal to, we can write it as 2 pi divided by k value is how much? It is 0.2 into pi. So pi will get cancelled. 2 divided by 0.2, it is nothing but what? 10 centimeter. The value of lambda is 10 centimeters. So what you need to calculate? The phase difference between the particle which is separated by 2 centimeter in the x direction, that we need to calculate here. So to calculate the phase difference, we require this lambda value. So we have calculated the value of lambda. Now the formula for phase difference we know. So the formula for phase difference is, that is, phase difference is equal to 2 pi divided by lambda into path difference. So what is phase difference? Phase difference is equal to 2 pi divided by lambda into path difference. So this is equal to 2 pi divided by lambda value is 10 into. So path difference, in the given question, the path difference is already given. So what is the path difference here? That is 2 centimeter. Therefore, it is multiplied by 2 here. Therefore, 2 ones are 2 5s are, that is nothing but what? That is 2 by 5 into 180. That is pi value. Therefore, which is equal to 72 degree, which is equal to 72 degree. So here, if you simplify this, you will get 72 degree. So just we need to compare the given equation with the standard equation, and we need to simplify it. Then phase difference and path difference, we know the formula. So substitute in the given formula. Okay. So the correct answer is what? That is 72 degree. That is option D. So let us go for the next question. So next question is, the frequency of sound wave is n and its velocity is v. If the frequency is increased to 4n, the velocity of the wave will be. So here what they are saying, the frequency is n and the velocity is v. If the frequency increased to 4n, means the initial frequency 4 times it is becoming, then what happens to the velocity? See here, the wave velocity does not depend on the frequency. As we know that the wave velocity does not depend on the frequency, it depends only on the elasticity and inertia of the medium. It depends on the elasticity and inertia of the medium. Therefore, whatever may be the value of frequency, the wave velocity is not going to change. Therefore, the correct option is option A, that is V only. It remains as it is. Okay, because the wave velocity depends on the elasticity and inertia of the given medium. It does not depend on the frequency of the medium. Next question, the displacement of a particle is given. Here the displacement of the particle is given by x is equal to a sine 5 pi into t plus 4 cos 5 pi into t. The amplitude of particle is. So here we need to calculate the amplitude of the given particle. Again, we need to compare the given equation with the standard equation. That is, the standard equation is given by x is equal to, it is a sine omega t plus b cos omega t. Therefore, here it is x is equal to under root of a square plus b square sine omega t plus tan inverse of b by a. Correct? But what is our given equation? The given equation is what? That is x is equal to three. Here in the question it is written a, it is 3 actually. That is, it is 3 sine phi pi into t plus 4 cos phi pi into t. Right? Therefore, now here you just compare the values. That is, a is nothing but what? That is 3 and b is nothing but it is 4. Therefore, by just comparing the equation, we can simplify it as, that is, x is equal to under root of a square value, that is 3 square is 9 plus b square value, that is 4 square is 16, and here it is sine of omega t. So what is omega value by comparing the equation? It is 5 pi into t plus tan inverse of b by a. So b by a already we know, that is 4 divided by 3. Therefore, this implies 9 plus 16 is 25. Root of 25 is 5. It is 5 sine into bracket 5 pi into t plus tan inverse of 4 divided by 3. Tan inverse of 4 divided by 3. Therefore, the amplitude of the particle, that is in place of a, what we have a, that is phi, that is option C. Option C is the correct one. Okay. So you need to take the standard equation and we need to compare the given equation and simplify. So by simplification, you will understand the value. If it is only a function of sine or a cos, it is easily, it can be identified the value of omega, k, amplitude and all. As here the equation is composition of sine and cos both, therefore we need to simplify in this manner, right? Let us go for the next question. For the option is what? That is C, 5 is the correct answer. Okay, students. Let us see the next question. The equation of a transverse wave traveling on a rope is, the equation of a transverse wave which is traveling on a rope is given by. So equation is given by, see the equation here, that is y is equal to 10 sine pi into bracket 0.01 into x minus 2 into t, where y and x are in centimeter and t is in seconds. The maximum transverse speed of a particle in the rope is about. You need to calculate the speed here. We need to calculate the maximum transverse speed. Again, take the standard equation. That is nothing but y is equal to a sine kx minus omega into t, a sine kx minus omega into t. Here the given equation is what? That is y is equal to 10 sine. So I'll just multiply and keep it. That is 0.01 into pi into x minus 2 pi into t. I will just multiply that pi into the bracket. Therefore, now here you can compare the value of A is, the value of A is 10. The value of A is 10 centimeter, and the value of omega is, the value of omega is, by the equation it is 2 into pi. Therefore, as we know that the maximum velocity of the particle is equal to A into omega. So A is how much? 10, and omega is how much? It is 2 pi. Therefore, here this is nothing but what? So here it is 2 into 3.142 into 10, that is nothing but 62.84. So 62.84 in the given option, it is nearly equal to what? 63 centimeter per second. Okay, that is the maximum velocity. We have maximum velocity is equal to A into omega. A value is 10, omega value is 2 pi. So it is 10 into 2 into 3.142. If you multiply, you will get, that is 62.8, that is nearly equal to 63. Therefore, the correct option is option A is the correct one. Next question. In a wave motion, y is equal to A sine kx minus omega t. Here y can represent, electric field, magnetic field, displacement, and the fourth option is pressure here. See here, the given equation, they have just mentioned that it is a wave motion. It is just a wave motion. Okay. If it is a sound wave, if it is a given equation is a sound wave equation, then it can be a displacement or it can be pressure also. Here, if it is an electromagnetic wave equation, then it can be an electric field or a magnetic field also. So as the question is given only a wave equation, we cannot say that whether it is electric, magnetic, displacement or pressure. So as per the given question, all the four options are correct. If you consider it as a wave equation, sorry, sound equation, then it is displacement and pressure. And if it is an electromagnetic wave, then it is both electric and magnetic field it represents, correct? Therefore, here at present in this condition, we can take all the options are correct. So in the question, you need to see whether it is mentioned sound wave or a electromagnetic wave, right? So let us see the next question. Okay. Find the ratio of the speed of sound in nitrogen gas to that of helium gas at 300 Kelvin. Okay, you need to calculate the speed here, the ratio of speed we need to remember little our kinetic theory class to understand the formula. Here we have, that is, V is equal to, the formula is the speed is given by V is equal to under root of gamma into R into T divided by capital M. Okay, so which implies V of N, because they asked you to calculate the speed of nitrogen to the speed of helium, that is equal to. So if you take the ratio of the given equation, the same term, that is R into T, that is constant here, which will get cancelled. Therefore, we are going to get it as gamma of nitrogen to the gamma of helium into mass number of helium to the nitrogen. Okay. So if you simplify the given equation, you will get this much. So as we know that the gamma value of nitrogen and the helium is constant, the gamma value for nitrogen here it is adiabatic ratio is 7/5, and for helium it is 5/3. So this value we know already from the kinetic theory of gases lesson. Okay. So here the mass number of helium is 4 and for nitrogen it is 28. Therefore, here if you simplify, that is 7/5 whole divided by 5/3 into 4 divided by 28. So here if you simplify this, you will get it as 3 divided by 5. Here you will get it as 3 divided by 5. Root of 3/5 is the correct answer. That is option C is the correct option here. The next question is the displacement of a particle performing simple harmonic motion that is related to the time as x is equal to 0.05 cos 4 pi into t plus pi/4. The frequency of the motion will be. Okay. Here, from the given equation, the coefficient of t is what you can see in the given equation. The coefficient of t is given by, it is 4 into pi. It is 4 into pi. As we know that the relation between frequency and this t, it is nothing but frequency is equal to omega by 2 pi. Correct? So this is nothing but what? This is the value of omega also. Therefore, we can write it as, it is 4 pi divided by 2 pi. That is nothing but pi will get cancelled. Therefore, it is 2 hertz is the answer. 2 hertz is the correct answer here. That is your frequency value. You can see the option D is the correct option. Okay. We just need to remember the formula. That is N is equal to omega divided by 2 pi. Therefore, we can write the correct answer. That is option D is the correct option here. Our next question is, a wave is represented by the equation y is equal to 7 sine into bracket 7 pi t minus 0.04 pi x plus pi/3 into, sorry, here x is in meter and t is in seconds. The speed of wave is given by, the speed of the wave is given by. Okay. Again, we can see the standard equation. So based on oscillation and waves, most of the sums are based on the comparison of the equation. So standard equation is what? That is y is equal to a sine omega t minus k into x plus pi naught. So in this equation, omega is equal to what? It is 7 pi, and k is equal to what? It is 0.04 into pi. Correct? Therefore, v is equal to omega divided by k. So what is omega? That is 7 into pi. And what is k? That is 0.04 into pi. So 7 divided by 0.04, that is nothing but what? 175 meter per second. It is 175 meter per second. Correct? Just divide 7 divided by 0.04. You will get 175 meter per second. Here the pi value will get cancelled. Therefore, the correct option is what? That is option A is the correct option here. Then our next question is, a wave is represented by the equation y is equal to 0.5 sine 10 into t plus x is in meter. It is traveling wave propagating along the x direction with the velocity. So here we need to calculate the velocity. We know that velocity v is equal to, it is omega divided by k, that is nothing but, so in the given equation, omega value you can see that is 10 and k value is 1, right? Therefore, the correct option is 10 meter per second. It is 10 meter per second. So if you understood the standard equation again and again, no need to write it. Directly we can write the values of omega, a, k and all. Correct? Here the correct option is option A, that is 10 centimeters. So 10 meter per second, that is nothing but the velocity of the given wave. Next question. A transverse progressive wave on a stretched string has a velocity of 10 meter per second and its frequency is 100 hertz. The phase difference between the two particles of the string, which are 2.5 centimeter apart, will be. Here you need to calculate the phase difference between the two particles. Okay. So phase difference, how you can calculate that? That is, phase difference is already given, that is 2.5 centimeter. Its velocity is given and its frequency is given. Here you need to calculate the value of lambda because they have asked that the phase difference, if it is 2.5 centimeter, what will be the distance between the two crest or the two trough here? Therefore, the lambda value, the distance between the two crest or the two trough is nothing but what? Wavelength. We need to calculate the value of wavelength, as we know that the wavelength is given by lambda is equal to, it is v divided by n, because speed is equal to what? Frequency into wavelength. Therefore, lambda is equal to v divided by n. The value of speed is given 10 meter per second. Then frequency is also given, that is 100 hertz. So 0 will get cancelled. 1 divided by 10 is what? 0.1. This is 0.1 is in meter. Okay. So here we can take it in terms of centimeter also, that is nothing but 10 centimeter. Then next, phase difference is given by. So phase difference is equal to, in the previous sums we have seen the formula, it is 2 pi by lambda into path difference. That is equal to 2 pi divided by lambda into path difference is how much? It is 2.5. So if you simplify this, that is 2.5 divided by 10 into 2. The option is, that is pi divided by 2. The correct option is pi divided by 2 here. That is option D is the correct option. Okay. Next, in a stationary wave, all the particles are. So what happens in a stationary wave? See the options. At rest at the same time twice in every period of oscillation. B option, at rest at the same time once in every period of oscillation. Option C, never at rest at same time. Option D, never at rest at all. So here the correct option is what? Option. Which one is the correct option? That is, for a stationary wave, as the properties we have discussed for the stationary wave, at the rest at same time, twice in every period of oscillation. That is, option A is the correct option here. Option A is the correct option. Okay. Let us go for the next one. The path difference between the two waves is y1 is equal to a1 sine omega t minus 2 pi x by lambda, and y2 is equal to a2, it should be a2, okay, a2 sine omega t minus 2 pi into x divided by lambda plus pi is. So here you need to calculate the path difference. Again, to calculate the path difference, we should know the value of phase difference here. So phase difference can be given by, that is y2 minus y1. The phase difference is given by y2 minus y1. So if you know the phase difference, path difference can be calculated, because we know that the relation between phase difference and the path difference. So here phase difference is equal to, it is y2 minus y1. This is equal to y2 is what? That is omega t minus 2 pi into x divided by lambda plus pi here. Minus omega t minus 2 pi into x divided by, sorry, only 2 pi x divided by, it is lambda. So therefore, if you simplify this, omega t will get cancelled. Then 2 pi x by lambda will get cancelled. Right? Therefore, you are left with what? You are left with only pi plus pi by 2. You are left with only pi plus pi by 2. Therefore, the path difference is given by. So how we do, students? Path difference I calculate ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Path difference is nothing but it is lambda divided by 2 pi into phase difference. Okay. So this is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi into phase difference. What is the value of phase difference here? Just now we saw it is pi divided by pi by 2. Correct. So you can see the given option here. In the given option, the option B is the correct one. That is lambda by 2 pi into bracket pi plus pi by 2 here. Okay. Next. A plane wave is described by the equation y is equal to 3 cos x by 4 minus 10t plus minus pi by 2. The maximum velocity of the particle due to this wave is given by. So we know that maximum velocity is equal to our formula. So maximum velocity, we used already this formula. It is a into omega. You can compare, that is a value is 3 and the omega value in the given equation, it is 10. Therefore 3 into 10, that is 30 is what? That is the value of velocity. The maximum velocity is given by a into omega. So from the given equation, by comparing it with the standard equation, we can write that the maximum velocity is equal to 30. You can take it as meter per second. Okay. So option A is the correct option here. Then next, let us go for the next question. A wave is represented by the given equation, that is y is equal to a sine 10 pi into x plus 15 pi into t plus pi by 3, where x is in meter and t is in seconds. Okay. Next, the expression represents option A Here the given equation, what it represents, we need to understand. A wave traveling in the position x direction with a velocity 1.5 meter per second. Second option is a wave traveling in the negative x direction with a velocity of 1.5 meter per second. Then third option, a wave traveling in the negative x direction with a wavelength 0.2 meter. And fourth option is a wave traveling in the positive x direction with a wavelength 0.2 meter. So we cannot understand only by reading the options here. We need to go for the solution here, then only we can understand. So solution, if you compare the given equation with the standard one, you will get some idea what will be the correct option here. See, as we know that it is y is equal to a sine kx plus omega t plus pi divided by 3. Here, the k value is from the given equation, it is 10 into pi. And the value of omega, you can see there, it is 15 pi, right? And we know that v is equal to what? It is omega by k. So what is omega? It is 15 pi divided by k value is 10 pi. So pi will get cancelled. 15 divided by pi is how much? It is 1.5 meter per second. So we can say that a wave is traveling in the negative x direction with a velocity of 1.5 meter per second. We can say that option also. See, we can see here one more relation, that is lambda is equal to. This is our lambda is equal to, it is 2 pi divided by k. So 2 pi divided by k value is 10 pi. So that is nothing but what? 0.2 meter. Here option B and C both we can consider it as the correct option. Why? Because if you calculate velocity, you are getting 1.5 meter per second. And if you calculate lambda, you are getting 0.2. Both are there in the given option. Therefore, we can go for B and C. Okay. Next question. A transfer wave is described by the equation y is equal to y naught sine 2 pi into bracket f into t minus x divided by lambda. The maximum particle velocity is 4 times the wave velocity. The maximum particle velocity is 4 times the wave velocity. If so, in the given question, what hint they have given, based on that we can solve it. That is, the maximum velocity is equal to 4 into wave velocity. So this is equal to maximum velocity is what? A into omega is equal to wave velocity, it is 4 into. So velocity, frequency and wavelength relation, it is f into lambda, because v is equal to f into lambda. Now, that is a value from the given equation. You can see here, that is y is equal to y naught sine 2 pi into bracket f into t minus x by lambda is our given equation. So in place of a, we have y naught. Therefore, here we can take it as this is y naught. That is y naught. Omega value is 2 pi into f is equal to 4 into f into lambda. Correct? Here, 2 ones are 2 twos are. And f will get cancelled. Therefore, lambda is equal to. So, lambda is equal to what we are getting here? Lambda is equal to, we are getting it as pi into y naught divided by 2. Pi into y naught divided by 2 here. That is option B is the correct option. Option B is the correct option here, right? That is option B is the correct option here. Okay, students. So let us go for the next question. Next question. The equation of a wave traveling in a string, it can be written as y is equal to 3 cos into pi 100 into t minus x. Its wavelength is, you need to calculate the value of wavelength. So simple. Take the standard equation, compare, take the wave equation and wavelength equation and simplify. So as we know that it is y is equal to a cos omega t minus k into x. So this is our standard equation, and the given equation is y is equal to 3 into cos 100 into pi into t minus pi into x. So this is our given equation. If I compare both the equation, the value of k is found to be how much it is? Pi. And we know that lambda is equal to 2 pi divided by k. So that is equal to 2 pi divided by k is how much? Pi. Therefore, pi will get cancelled. The correct option is 2 centimeter. That is option B is the correct option. Next question. A plane wave is represented by x is equal to 1.2 sine 314t plus 12.56y, where x and y are the distances measured along in x and y direction in meter and t is in second. This wave has. So how we are going to do? See, the option is a wavelength of 0.25 meter and travels m positive x direction, a wavelength of 0.25 meter and travels in positive y direction, a wavelength of 0.5 meter and travels in negative y direction, a wavelength of 0.5 meter and travels in negative x direction. Okay, so from the given equation, the value of k is found to be, you can see that, students. You can again remember your standard equation, and you can see the value of k is found to be 12.56. It is 12.56. So how we do the value of lambda? Here all the options are given in terms of lambda. So if you calculate lambda, you will understand the solution part. That is, lambda is equal to 2 pi divided by k. Therefore, 2 pi divided by k value is 12.56. K value is 12.56. So again here, if you simplify, that is 2 into pi divided by 12.56. So here the option, if you simplify this, you will get it as 0.5. 0.5. See, in the given option where it is there, option C and option B. But whether it is traveling in the negative direction, negative y direction or negative x direction. So as it is 0.5 meter, the direction is negative y direction. That is option C is the correct option. Option C is the correct option here, right? Next question is, a wave is reflected from a rigid support. The change in phase on reflection will be, there is option A, pi by 4, option B, pi by 2, C is pi, D is 2 pi. See, it is reflecting from a rigid support. So when it will reflect from a rigid support, So when the phase difference is pi here, so this by theory only we can understand this. Option A is pi by 4, pi by 2, C is pi, and D is 2 pi. So one wave, it is reflected from rigid support, means its phase is pi. The correct option is option C. Option C is the correct option. Next question. The equation of displacement of two waves are given. Y1 is equal to 10 sine 3 pi into t plus pi by 3, and Y2 is equal to 5 sine 3 pi t plus root of 3 into cos pi 3 pi t. Then what is the ratio of their amplitude? So what is the ratio of their amplitude? So I hope you remember the solution. That is, we solved one equation, root of a square plus b square. With the help of that formula only, here also we can do this. See, that is Y2 is equal to, it is 5 into bracket 3 sine 3 pi into t plus root 3 into cos pi by t, cos pi into t. Here, this is equal to 5 root of 1 plus 3 a square plus b square into sine 3 pi into t plus pi by 3. Okay. That is 3 plus 1 is 4. Root of 4 is 2. 5 into 2 is 10. Sine 3 pi into t plus pi by 3. So therefore we can say that A1 is also equal to 10 and B1 is also, A1 is also 10 and B1, A2 is also 10 here. The amplitude ratio is 10, A1 is 10 and A2 is also 10. Okay, the same formula we used in the previous sum. Next question. The equation of a wave traveling on a string is given by y is equal to 4 sine pi by 2 into bracket 8 pi t minus x by 8 if x and y are in centimeter, and then wave velocity of wave is. Here you can simplify the equation and you can solve it. That is what here it is, equal to y is equal to 4 sine 4 pi into t minus pi by 16 into x. Here omega is equal to, by comparing the equation, omega is equal to, it is 4 pi, and k is equal to, it is pi divided by 16. Correct? Therefore v is equal to, it is omega divided by k. So omega is 4 pi divided by k value is pi by 16. So if you simplify here, 16 into 4 it becomes, so 16 into 4 is how much? 64 centimeter per second in the positive x direction. That is option D is the correct option. Option D is the correct option here. Okay, I hope you are understanding this. Then next question, the equation of wave is given by, where x and y are expressed in terms of centimeter and seconds. Then wave velocity. So wave velocity we need to calculate. Wave velocity is equal to, our formula is v is equal to, it is omega by k. Omega you can see from the given equation, it is 200 pi divided by k value is 0.5 into pi. So simplify, that is 200 by 0.5, that is nothing but 400 centimeter per second. 400 centimeter per second, that is the option of D. Correct? So this is how we can simplify it. Correct, students? So let us see the remaining MCQs in the next class. Okay. Thank you.